This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Chems. We're located at 5121 Cimarron Street, Los Angeles, California, 90062. Cimarron Street. And again, we are performing a video sewer inspection through a 4-inch ABS cleanout located on the left-hand rear corner of the house, next to just outside the kitchen, next to a storage shed and the barbecue area. And this is our 4-inch ABS cleanout here. This is our storage shed. This runs out towards the front of the property, and we got a little barbecues and stuff in this area, and that goes towards the rear of our property here. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor right at the top, and we're just going to go ahead and drop down and begin our video sewer inspection. So we are dropping down what appears to be black ABS sewer pipe. And as we drop down, it does appear that we immediately transition into what appears to be vitreous clay. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. It does appear that we do have some root intrusion in that joint there. But again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And take a good look at the joints. Those joints there appear to have a little bit of root intrusion right around the 12 o'clock area. But again, we're just going to continue to push out. And as we pull back, push out a little bit. Go ahead and continue to push out. So that joint there did appear to be in fair condition, and again a little bit of offset in that joint there from about the 12 o'clock going down to about the 2 o'clock area, and that joint appeared to be in fair condition. Again, we'll just continue to push out, and that joint appears to be in fair condition, and that joint appears to be in fair condition as well, and that joint appears to be in fair condition. Again, minor gap in that, or offset in that joint there, but nothing major. So again, that joint appears to be in fair condition. Continue to push out. So again, we're just going to continue to push out, and that joint appears to be in fair condition. We'll continue to push out, and that joint appears a little bit of root intrusion coming in right around the 9 o'clock area. Again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And we do have a little bit of an offset with some root intrusions coming into that joint as well. So again, we'll just continue to push out. And that joint, it does appear that we do have a large crack in that joint there from about the 5 o'clock area going all the way around to about the 7 o'clock area. So what we'll do is we'll pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and marked this area at 1 foot 5 inches deep, again on the left-hand side of the house, along the walkway as you're heading towards the front of the house. And again, we do have a crack in this area. As you can see here at the bottom, we'll pull back just a little bit. You can see that we do have a crack starting at about the 4 or 5 o'clock area, going all the way around to about the 7 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And that joint does appear to have some root intrusion in that joint there. And again, it does appear that we possibly have a tie-in there, as you can see in that area, right around the 11 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to continue to push out slowly. It does appear that we are holding water in this area. And again, large root intrusion. And again, what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to push out. And you can see another large root intrusion in this area, and we're completely holding water. So again, we're just going to kind of continue to push out. What we'll do is we'll just attempt to continue to push out and push all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. It does appear that we do have a section of black ABS sewer pipe in this area, as you can see. has quite a bit of buildup and debris on it, but you can tell that does appear that vitreous clay transitioned into a short piece of black ABS sewer pipe. So what we'll do is we're just going to push in slowly. And as you can see here in this area, it does appear that we do have an opening. So again, we're going to just pull back a little bit. And we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. This possibly could be maybe the bathtub at the front of the house. There is a master bathroom, and this could possibly be the tie-in. So we're just going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and ran a little bit of water in the master bathroom, and it does appear that this is the tie-in for the master bathroom. So again, we're just going to continue to push out. It does appear that we are holding water in this area, so what we're going to do is just continue to push out, possibly get out as far as we can, and as we continue to push out, we transition back into vitreous clay. And as you can see in this area here, we do have quite a bit of root intrusion in the vitreous clay. So again, we're just going to continue to push out, and again, we'll just continue to push out, possibly pushing all the way out to attempt to reach our city sewer tie-in. So again, that joint, a little bit of root intrusion in that joint there. So again, we just continue to push out, and we got more root intrusion in that joint as well. So again, we just continue to push out, and as you can see in this area here, we do have quite a bit of root intrusion. So again, we're just going to continue to push out, and we'll make a little bit of a turn. And again, in this area here, as I mentioned, you do have quite a bit of root intrusion, a little bit of an offset in that joint as well, but again, very hard to determine the overall condition of those joints with those root intrusions in it. So again, we're just going to continue to push out. And one of the inspectors is flushing the toilets, so we're just going to utilize this water and continue to push out. More root intrusion in that joint, so we'll continue to push out. And very difficult to tell. We're going to push in just a little bit. Pull back. And again, more root intrusion in that joint as well. And again, more root intrusion. Quite a bit of the vitreous clay sewer line pipe and fittings all appear to have multiple root intrusions throughout the joints. So again, we're just gonna pause our mic here and attempt to push all the way out into our city sewer tie-in, and then from there we'll pull back. What we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it is out in the front of the property. And this is in the street, and we're just short of the city sewer tie-in at approximately 3 to 4 feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to run a bunch of water just to help us push out and possibly reach our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pause here. Okay, we went ahead and ran some water with the attempt to push past this area. Just in front of us, we do have a piece of concrete slag and a little bit of an offset, what appears to be in that joint there. And our camera lens is getting stuck on that area there. So this area the vitreous clay would need to be possibly hydrojetted and get all those root intrusions cleared out. And possibly we're going to mark an area at the front of the house for a mainline sewer clean out at the front of the house. That would make it a little bit easier to get all the way out towards the city sewer tie-in. It would eliminate approximately 60 feet of pipe. So again, we're just going to pause our mic here for a moment. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and pause here for a moment. We're going to shut the water down, and then we'll begin to pull back. And again, unfortunately, we're unable to push past this point. We are out 102 feet 6 inches, and this is just out in the street. We did mark it with a red crayon. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to shut our water down and pull back from here. And we'll mark an area at the front of the house where would be a good place for a mainline sewer clean out. So we're going to pause here. Okay, again, we went ahead and shut the water down. And again, unfortunately, we're unable to push past this point. We are out just in the middle of the street, and we did mark it with the red crayon at approximately 6 foot 8 inches deep. And again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as I mentioned, the vitreous clay pipe and fittings appear to be in poor condition at this time. Got multiple root intrusions. We do have a crack in the joint. So again, we're going to continue to pull back. Pull back slowly. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to pull back. We're going to pull back closer towards the house, just towards the front of the house. And once we get out towards the front of the house, we're going to pause there. We're going to locate an area at the front of the house, which would be a good place for a mainline sewer clean out at the front of the house. The mainline sewer clean out that was installed at this house was placed at the very far rear of the house, and it's approximately 60 feet from the front of the house. So again, gaining that 60 feet would possibly get us all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. So again, we're just going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out, and this continue to pull back. And as we pull back, we're pulling back into this joint here. And as you can see in this joint here, we do have a break in this joint. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as I mentioned, you can see that we do have a break from about the 3 o'clock area going all the way down to about the 6 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And got a little bit of an offset in that joint there. Just continue to pull back. And again, we do have a little bit of an offset in that joint as well. And we just continue to pull back. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. So again, we just continue to pull back. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull back closer to the house. And once we get back closer to the house, we do have a section of ABS plastic pipe, and we do have quite a bit of root intrusion. So as you can see in this area here, we do have the root intrusions, and we do have a break in the line. Here you can see from about the 9 o'clock going all the way around to about the 6 o'clock area. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, more root intrusion in that joint there, coming in from 9 o'clock going all the way around to about 12 o'clock. But again, we'll just continue to pull back. And again, you can see in this area here, so again, in this area here, you can see that we do have another crack in the joint here. And this crack is coming in from approximately the 12 o'clock going down to about the 5 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. And again, as we pull back, we do have a little bit of an offset in that joint from about the 9 o'clock going around to about the 3 o'clock area. So again, continue to pull back. A little bit of root intrusion in that joint. As we pull back toward the house, we have some areas with quite a bit more root intrusion in it. So again, we just continue to pull back. And again, a little more root intrusion in that joint there. Okay, we'll continue to pull back. And again, as we pull back, we do have a break in this area.
Yeah.
So you can see we do have root intrusion and break in this area. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here. We're out about 60 feet. So this should just put us just out in front of the house and mark this area. And this area here could possibly be a good location for a mainline sewer clean out. Okay, we went ahead and located this area here, and as we push around in the front of the house, we did locate another 4-inch ABS mainline sewer clean out at the front of the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment, and actually we're going to pull back from here, take a good look at the rest of the line in this area, and then what we'll do is relocate ourselves to the front of the house, and we'll push through that one as well. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as we pull back, again, more root intrusion in those joints. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. We make a little bit of a turn. And we do have more root intrusion in that joint there. I'll pause for a moment. So again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, more root intrusion in these joints here. And you can see here, right around the 3 o'clock area there, we do have a large root intrusion on the side of the wall there. And as you can see, that area there is possibly has a break in that area. The root intrusions are coming in from the side of the wall. So again, we're going to continue to pull back. And as we pull back, we do have a belly in this area. See, we're holding water in this area here. And we did mark this area, and as you can see, we are in ABS plastic sewer pipe here. So this possibly could be our clean out up towards the front of the house. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we transition back into vitreous clay. And again, as you can see, we have more root intrusion. We have more root intrusion. And again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Tie in there, and again just continue to pull back. And what we're going to do is just continue to pull all the way back to our mainline sewer clean out, pull up and out of that area. And what we'll do is we'll relocate ourselves to the mainline sewer clean out at the front of the house that we had located, and we'll push out from there, and again with the attempt to reach our city sewer tie-in. So we're just going to continue to pull back. The vitreous clay sewer line in this area here would possibly need to be hydrojetted and re-inspected in order to get the root intrusions out of the line, to check the joints and check the overall condition of the vitreous clay. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we transition back into black ABS at our clean out. We pull up and out of our clean out. And we're going to pause here for a moment and relocate ourselves. Okay, we went ahead and located ourselves to the front left-hand corner of the house next to the gas meter, and it does appear that there is a 3-inch ABS cleanout located up against the wall there. This is our 3-inch ABS cleanout. And this goes, again, that's our 3-inch ABS cleanout. That goes towards the rear of the property there. And this goes out towards the front of our property here. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor here. And we're just going to go ahead and drop down. And again, we're just going to drop down, pause our mic, and again, attempt to push all the way out and possibly get into our city sewer tie-in. So again, it does appear that we're dropping down into black ABS sewer pipe, and we immediately transition into vitreous clay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the mic here, and we're just going to attempt to push all the way out and get into our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pause here. Okay, again, as we continue to push out, we did make it all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. As you can see, we're at approximately 96 feet, 5 inches deep. And again, this sewer line runs out towards the front of the property, and it just takes a drastic dive down at the front of the property and dives down into our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, we went ahead and reached our city sewer tie-in. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to pull back. We're going to pull back from here and take a good look. We did see a good percentage of the sewer line when we initially pushed out from a 4-inch cleanout located on the left-hand side at the rear of the house. So again, we're just going to pull back. Got a little bit of offset in that joint there. And a little bit of slag over pour in that joint there. Again, we're just going to continue to pull back. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. And again, we do have an offset in that joint there from about the 10 o'clock area going all the way around to about the 3 o'clock. And again, another offset in that joint as well. Continue to pull back. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. And what we're doing is we're pulling up the line, heading back up towards the sidewalk area. And again, it does make a drastic drop. We did attempt to locate it in the street, but it was fairly deep. We were out towards the middle of the street at approximately 15 feet deep. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. We're making a little bit of a turn. And again, another offset in that joint as well. And those joints appeared to be in fair condition. A little bit of an offset in that joint. Again, the vitreous clay did appear to have multiple offsets throughout the vitreous clay. And again, as we pull back, we do have some multiple offsets, a little bit of root intrusions, a little bit of slag over pour. And again, we were to make it to this point here. And again, we did have a break there. We did mark that break. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. All this area here we have seen as we pull back. So again, we did mark a few areas, and we did note that we do have quite a bit of root intrusions and multiple offsets and several cracks throughout the vitreous clay as we pull back. And this is on the property line as we're pulling back towards the house. And again, very shallow sewer. It's approximately 1.5 feet at the front of the house, and it runs across the front of the property. And as we get towards the front of the property, it's only at 3 foot 5 inches deep at the front of the property, and then it makes a drastic drop down into our city sewer tie-in. And as you can see, when we pull back, we do have some root intrusions. And again, we did identify those areas on the way back when we pulled back. And again, we're back towards our belly area, and we're going to come up and out of our clean out. And again, that will conclude our video sewer inspection.